Welcome to week 2. So, of course, this is the same as last week. This is the end of our week. And I just realized my pink light over here is giving me a weird tone to my face. Hope that's not too distracting. Anyway, welcome to week 2. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm at my really messy desk. No, I'm not going to show you that. Trust me, you don't want to see my messy desk. I want to say thanks to, is it Duval? Sorry, Duval, if I said your name wrong, but now I'm not sure I'm saying it right. So anyway, Duval. So what Duval told me was whole milk. Whole milk can go rancid. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look at my Does Honey Go Bad? Because we do have a lot of foods that expire but don't expire kind of thing. And I had mentioned that I used freeze-dried powdered milk. Now, the milk that we use is strictly skim milk. That's what I grew up with. And I'm not going to lie, Duval, I had no idea you could get powdered whole milk. No clue whatsoever. So thank you for that. So if you do use and have powdered milk in your house, if it's powdered skim milk, because it's virtually no fat, it should not go rancid. But if you have powdered whole milk, keep that in mind, all right? Thank you for that. And yes, my avocados are also stressed, but they're coming back. I'm so happy. They're loving their new spot in the house. But let's get back to week 2. Now, week 2 was a little more chicken. You'll see that as we go through. And we did do a change up. We had the pea and ham soup for lunch the one day, and we actually pulled out the rest of the pork stew that we had made the other day. So that's what we had changed up. So this is what we did this week. I'll see you at the end. Day 1, week 2. Pancakes for breakfast. I made too much pancake batter. But used up 2 things, the rest of the rhubarb in the one jar and the rest of the ricotta cheese. Breakfast. So when you're making these and you find that in the cupboard, this is why we do pantry clean out. Okay. This week's dinner plan, it is a chicken kind of day. Well, chicken kind of week. Anyway, this is our dinner plan for the week. We are starting out with our roast chicken. So got him ready in. He's just got a little bit of salt. I'll put a tiny bit of pepper on probably. I am cooking him breast side down. Tonight, we will be eating the legs and the thighs. And one of our leftover dressings. So, alrighty, time to get dinner started. Yuki, kitty, 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 kitty. Hi, it's Yuki TV. We haven't had a Yuki TV in a while. Forgive the yellow scrubby on the pad. That's Izzy's toy. Right, Ukes? Okay, so Sunday night dinner. Of course, the leftover dressing from when we made dressing at Christmas. And these 2 cans, oh, that's my salmon can. Sorry, guys. This is what's left of the chicken because I pulled, shadow. We pulled the legs and the wings off for dinner. So this, based on the menu plan, is quiche and stir fry. Now these guys, we actually are using a little bit of our rhubarb barbecue sauce. I added some ketchup and some Worcestershire sauce to it and a little bit of our BAM spice from when we did our spice blends. But that's Sunday night dinner. And 2 more. My chicken looks like it has a 6-pack because I roasted it upside down on the rack. You have to admit, that chicken looks so tasty. Dinner is ready. It is a working at my desk kind of night for dinner. These are those cabbage rolls we made a while back. So tasty. Pantry challenge does not mean just the pantry. Freezer meals. Definitely the way to go. Best way to pre-bake your pie crust. Get some beans that you don't like. Put them in the pie crust, bake it. So for in the quiche, all we really added was some of the leftover spinach that we still had, and I took some broccoli out of the freezer and let it thaw out. I wrapped it up in some paper towel to get most of the moisture out. It actually, it worked out really well. I didn't have to pre-cook the broccoli, which is really, really handy because when it's frozen, it just cuts up and cooks really, really well in the quiche after that. Day 2 of our roast chicken. Now I did blind bake the crust. As you already saw, I had those beans. Those are those yellow peas that I made soup with a while back, and the way the skins and everything come off, it worked out that using them for recipes is just not something I'm probably going to do anymore. So why not use them for something else? Now, when you're making quiche, of course, you really should blind bake the crust. That way the bottom doesn't get all gummy and, well, gross, really. That one chicken breast was really big. I actually think there might have been too much chicken in the quiche, but it came out great, tasted phenomenal. I used the broccoli, the spinach, the chicken, and some sharp old cheddar cheese. I think that was a 3-year-old cheese. You also probably notice all our eggs are different sizes and different colors. We get them from different farms. Some of our eggs come from the big nursery. Yeah, and hey, use an eggshell when you break a shell into the bowl. But anyway, we get some from the nursery and we get some from Crystal Green. Our eggs come from a couple of different farms, so it's all good. And they taste really good. You can seriously tell the difference between a farm egg and a grocery store egg, unless you spend the money for those free-range organic ones, which all mine are free range and organic. Not enough. Quiche is ready, hot out of the oven. Tuesday dinner. Now it's time for this chick to go to work. So that quiche came out so good. I didn't mix the green in as well as I wanted to, but oh, that looks tasty. When you forget to wash your casserole dish, you braise sausages in a bread dish. Sausages, frozen peppers, onions, and some beautiful shaved garlic. The last of the chili sauce. And a jar of tomatoes. Oh, this is going to be tasty. So I had to put it in another pan. But we got some rice cooked. But this stuff here, oh, fabulous. And you put all this good stuff right here on the rice. So this is a little bit of a pantry, freezer, clean out. The peppers came from the freezer. Sausage came from the freezer. My shadow's in the way. But that's just tomatoes, onions, garlic, peppers, a little bit of chili sauce. Fabulous dinner. Did something we haven't done in a long time. Actual bread. Came out pretty good. Using one of those Epicure mixes with our home canned pineapple Chicken and veggies are ready. Just waiting on the rice. So we're making a burger tomorrow night. Decided baked beans with dinner. So I got the molasses, onion, garlic, tomato paste. I just have to add a couple cups of water, a couple cups of vinegar, and cook in the oven for 6 hours. All ready for the oven. These are gonna be so tasty. This is called going from one desk to another. Eating while I work. I have to say these beans, they taste phenomenal. We have enough for 3 containers for the freezer and 1 more for dinner tomorrow night. This is just like a modified Boston baked bean. Vegetarian, as I don't have any salted pork, it's not something I generally keep, but we make this a lot. I'll write down what I put in it. You would love it. So now the only reason I really recorded all of this is to show you that chicken burgers are ridiculously easy. You don't need to spend the money and go out and buy them. This is local ground chicken that I also get from Crystal Green. It's an Epicure mix. Yeah, I have a lot of that stuff. I love it. That's a whole other conversation. But we use this for burgers. We also make cheater chicken parmesan. So we make the patties and cook the patties. And then you can just put some really nice sauce and some cheese on it. Have it with some pasta. Ground chicken, if you can get it and you can get it for a reasonable price. Seriously, go and get it. Try it out. Chicken meatballs, phenomenal. Only reason really I'm sharing the ground chicken. This also was the fastest fry up I've ever done because I had a half an hour to cook, eat, and go back to work. So sorry, no finished pictures. Well, that's all the food that we made for week 2. I have to admit that every single meal at home, it causes a lot of dishes and things. Who cares? Wash the dishes, right? As you also noticed, I started to braise the sausages in my glass loaf pan because my 2 casserole dishes were still, well, I needed to scrub them. They were washed, but things got stuck. And then, Ashley, about halfway through, I realized, wait a minute, I still have my little black roasting pan. So we used the little black roasting pan, and then I braised the sausages the rest of the way. But now that I say that, you might be wondering, why didn't I use the little black roasting pan for the chicken? That chicken, he was little, but he was too big for the little black roasting pan, but it was way too small for my massive roaster. That was the week. So we did roast that chicken. I have turkey on the brain now because I'm pretty sure that was the last time I used that roaster. We roasted that chicken. We had the legs. Now that barbecue sauce, that's a Victorian BBQ sauce. Now that's a Bernardin canning recipe. So if you're in Canada, it's all Bernardin. If you're in the US, it's all Ball. It's the same company. There are a couple of great books that you can get from the companies. Slightly different kinds of recipes because Canadian tastes are different than US tastes and vice versa. Same as different as UK tastes. I mean, it really depends on where you are in the world, right? But that rhubarb barbecue sauce is in the Bernardin. It's called Victorian BBQ sauce. I'll find the link and I'll post it. And then what we did is we just added a couple of extra ingredients to give it that more barbecue-y type of flavor. I use it as is, like on meatloaf and in meatloaf quite a bit. Also, the baked beans. Now, it's not a traditional Boston baked bean. I will have to write it out for you so you can see what I put in them. I actually put some apple cider vinegar in at the end. I always do. But this time I kind of splashed too much, so we had to add some extra brown sugar. It happens. But I'll put that down for you below as well. Excuse me. Sorry, it's the dry air. So the chicken was the 3 different days. Like I said, the chicken breast itself was bigger than I thought. Definitely bigger than I thought. So there was a lot of chicken in the quiche. Now that quiche, we had half of it for dinner, half of it for lunch the next day, and I have 2 more meals in the freezer. So that actually made 8 pieces, which is great. It's a good healthy meal, so when we have them later on, we'll just have some veggies beside them. Or if we don't eat them until next month, it'll be salad or something, because hey, I have not gone to the grocery store. I have no fresh salad fixings, nothing. We have lots of good veggies though, so if all else fails, we'll just have some veggies. The chicken stir fry, it came out really, really good. Now, the only downfall of the chicken stir fry is that when you use cooked chicken, it just basically shreds and goes everywhere. So I didn't take a picture of the finished product because it looked really weird. Tasted great, but looked really weird. And then the chicken burgers, all we did for the chicken burgers, because Freddie doesn't put a lot on his chicken burgers at all, really. So his was just literally just mayonnaise and cheese. And I put some fresh onion on mine. That's what we had with the baked beans. So week 2 worked out well. So the baked beans, that used up, it's the equivalent of a small bag. So basically a pound of navy beans. Great thing to use for the pantry. And then of course the remains go in the freezer. We are going to start on week 3. In midweek here, what I am going to do here this afternoon is I'm going to make a quick little video about how I'm planning the meals so you can see it, and I'll post that later on. It's going to take me a little bit to go through it. And I will see you again later this week for week 3. So go ahead, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. Hang out with us. It's just a little channel. I just do this for fun. I enjoy it. I love sharing the little bit of things that I'm learning. Post-hurricane, of course, the garden is an absolute disaster. So this spring, we're going to have a lot of work to do. We're going to spend a lot of time in the garden. But a lot of the foods that we use are frozen from the garden. Oh, I have kitty fur somewhere. Frozen from the garden, canned from the garden, from local farms, or things that we've stored, like the onions. So, which I'm almost out of. I'm almost out of onions. I'm going to have to buy onions soon. That's so annoying. But like I said, hit like, subscribe, come along with us as cat just took off. Come along with us as we do our simpler life on PEI. Bye for now.